Good morning, everybody. It's Justice for Comics. It is Monday morning. So we just had the San Diego Comic-Con over the weekend. We had a lot of new some new trailers dropped. A couple of them I thought were interesting. There's movie announcements, upcoming movies for the next 4 years have been outlined by Marvel. Not a lot of news from DC as far as movies go, but definitely a lot of news out from Marvel. So wanted to highlight a few things that I thought were interesting. Bleeding Cool right away is talking about Jane Foster, first female Thor. It's been news for a while that they were going to make a movie about this. I was not surprised at all. Jason Aaron definitely was somebody that they've talked about developing some of his writing on the Thor series, and this book is getting a lot of attention. So Thor Volume 4, Number 1. I guess there was a sale for $55 on eBay. I bought this book end of last year, maybe. I bought it pretty cheap. Beginning of this year, maybe. It wasn't. I think I paid 15 or 20 bucks, maybe 15 bucks. So, I'm glad to see the book's doing well. I'm not convinced. Well, let's do this. I'll go into the outline here. So they've got this timeline, Phase 4. Let me zoom in here a little bit so you can see it. So this is sort of the timeline of the movies that are coming out. So the next big movie is Black Widow. Comes out May of 2020. Scarlett Johansson, I believe, is going to reprise the role. I don't know if there'll be any other appearances. Obviously, there's going to be. They've already listed a couple of people that are going to be in the movie, characters that are going to be in the movie. So I don't know exactly what actors are going to play them, but there'll be a couple Russian-related villains. Dives more into her origin and past. I think that movie will be decent. I don't know how well it will do. I do think it will do decent. Female movies, female-based character movies don't do the greatest historically. There's all kinds of examples I could give you to back that opinion. Captain Marvel did well commercially, mainly because it was a tie-in to the Avengers storyline, or at least a lot of people thought it was. It really wasn't. I mean, the only tie-in was it was in the 80s, and Nick Fury was involved with Captain Marvel, and she was one of the secret weapons that they pulled out in Avengers Endgame. Although she really didn't do a whole lot. She didn't save the day. So it was still Iron Man that basically saved the day. So female-led movies. Wonder Woman, I think, is the only exception that where not only did it do commercially well, but it was well-liked by the fan base. It was critically acclaimed. Captain Marvel did well commercially, but it was not well-liked by the fan base. It was not critically acclaimed. It was a very boring movie, in fact. I watched it, and I couldn't believe how boring it was. It was not very good. But it did well because a lot of people went and saw it based on the Avengers movie coming out 2 months later. It definitely helped sales, no doubt about it. But it wasn't because it was a great movie and the plot was fantastic and the story was great. No, nothing like that. Next on the list is November 2020. We've got Eternals. So more than a year from now, Eternals will come out. I think this movie's going to bomb, just my opinion. Look at the source material. It all goes back to the source material. And yes, you can take source material and improve upon it. Guardians of the Galaxy is proof of that, right? The comic book Guardians of the Galaxy was never any good. No one cared about it. No one read it. It was B or C material easily. James Gunn took that premise, made it funny, made it interesting. You know, he took these B and C characters and basically made that an A-list property. Now, so maybe somebody can do that with Eternals. I think the premise of Eternals is stupid. I mean, I don't like Jack Kirby's. I think he was great in collaboration with other creators like Stan Lee. You know, just other people helped him create great characters. But on his own, I don't think he did. I think he was terrible. So, you know, if you try to read those Eternal books, I mean, if you can honestly read the first 10 issues of Eternals and tell me it was great, I think you have a mental problem. It's not great. It's horrible. It's campy. The premise is just ridiculous. These eternal beings come down to the planet and it's just, name an Eternal besides Cersei that you're familiar with. It's just, I don't know. I think that movie, I think it has a high probability of bombing. I just don't think it's going to do well. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they bring in somebody like a James Gunn who can take something that's not that great and make it great. Right? There's a possibility there. Spring of 2021, Wanda and Vision. I'm assuming this is a live action. So the original characters are going to be playing, are reprising those roles, I'm assuming. So I don't know much about that storyline, where it's going. So I can't really give an opinion on it. I like those I think those actors do a good job with those characters. So we'll have to see on that. We'll have to get more information down the road. Spring of 2021 as well is Loki, standalone story about Loki. I'm assuming the actor that has been playing Loki will also be playing it. I think there's some speculation that there could be a younger version of Loki in the movie, like a kid Loki. So, I would imagine this is an origin story in the more development and in-depth on the character. So that could be really good. I don't know. We'll have to find out. A Hawkeye comes out in fall of 2021. So this is going to be Hawkeye and the new Hawkeye, which is Kate Bishop. Those two characters are definitely going to be in the storyline. And, that could be okay. I don't know where they're going to go with it, but sort of a master protege type movie where he's handing maybe the reins over to the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. So there's been a lot of fuel, obviously, and speculation on her early appearances, and a lot of that stuff's been moving for a while now. So that could be good. I'll give that a pass for now. Fall of 2020, The Falcon and Winter Soldier. I guess I haven't been doing this in order. I guess it goes like here and then here. That's okay. So Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out in fall of 2020. So that's going to be the second movie released. So sorry, guys, I had that backwards. That movie I'm looking forward to. I love Winter Soldier. Well, probably my favorite. I think that's number one on my list of favorite Marvel movies of all time is Winter Soldier. I would put Civil War number 2, and I would put Endgame number 3. So I liked Endgame, but I didn't think it was their Marvel's best movie. I think Winter Soldier is their best movie. I love that character. I think that could be a really good movie. So I have high hopes for that. Hopefully I'm not disappointed. But of the list of movies here, I would put Falcon and Winter Soldier near the top of movies that I'm looking forward to seeing. And then February of 2021, you got Shang-Chi. It's going to be kind of like probably an homage to Bruce Lee, right? You've got a character that's definitely a B-level character. If it's done well, like Guardians of the Galaxy, you can take a B or C level character and really put it on a pedestal and promote it. So I think that could be a good movie. I don't know much about Shang-Chi. I don't have that comic book, his first appearance, nor have I collected any of those issues. So I can't speak in depth as to the way they should go on that, but that's something I may have to do more research on, especially as the movie, comes closer to coming out. I might do a kind of a preview or what I think they may go in which direction. May of 2021, you've got Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. So they're kind of promoting the fact that this is going to be really a very horror type movie. It's going to delve more into maybe the occult, his ability to go in and out of dimensions. That it could be really. That's probably the second movie of all of these that I'm the most looking forward to, besides Falcon and Winter Soldier, would be Doctor Strange. I liked the first movie, Doctor Strange. I thought it was a great movie. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the second installment. So I would put that number 2 on my list of movies that I'm looking forward to here out of the lineup. And then summer 2021, the What If. This is going to be an animated series on the Disney Channel. So I think I figured this out. Where it says Disney, these are going to be probably released on the Disney network. This is going to be a movie. This is going to be an animated feature. Loki, I think, that's also going to be on Disney. Wanda and Vision will be on Disney. So I'm not too sure if these are movies, if all these are going to be movies, or are they going to be a series. I'm not too sure, but I think that's what's happening. These are major blockbuster releases, right? They don't say Disney below them. Eternals, Black Widow, Thor, and then the rest of these, and Doctor Strange, and then the rest of these are all going to be on the Disney network, or at least Loki, Hawkeye, Wanda and Vision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and What If. So those are going to just be released on the streaming service. So of the movies I'm looking forward to the most, I believe Doctor Strange. If we're just looking at feature movies, Doctor Strange would be number 1 for me. Number 2 would be Black Widow. Number 3 would be Shang-Chi. Number 4 would be toss-up between Eternals and Thor, Love and Thunder. So Thor, Love and Thunder, I left that for last. I don't know. So one of the things I have a problem with is Natalie Portman is tiny. What is she, 5'2"? She weighs maybe 100 pounds, soaking wet. If you see the video of her trying to hold this hammer up, her arm is shaking. I don't know. So it's San Diego Comic-Con was really a terrible Comic-Con. Just wasn't. The only thing I thought that was great was the new Blade. The Blade Marvel movie that's going to be coming out with the actor Mahershala Ali, I think his name is. I probably destroyed that. So I think he could be really good. There's Kevin Feige. I think he definitely will make a good Blade. Hopefully way better than even the original. I do like the original Blade movies. I thought they were really good, especially for the time that they came out. That became a successful franchise. No one ever thought it would. Most people didn't even know that Blade was a Marvel character. That movie just came out of nowhere and surprised a lot of people back when it came out. So that one I think is going to be good. I'm looking forward to that. So it's probably this and Doctor Strange. I would say Blade and Doctor Strange would be the 2 movies that I would be the most looking forward to. The reason I'm not looking forward to Thor is Natalie Portman is just, they're going to have to do one of 2 things. She plays a good Jane Foster. So when she's not female Thor and she's Jane Foster, she's fine. She's a good actress. She plays a normal female character just fine. But when she turns into Thor, you can't have her be Thor. a female Thor. Female Thor is 6'2". I mean, she's an Amazon. She's a huge woman, right? She's 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds, almost twice the size of Natalie Portman. So they're either going to CGI, maybe they take her likeness, her face, and they CGI her body and make her look bigger. I mean, they're going to have to do something like that. I think for that to have a chance at being successful, that's what they're going to have to do. They can't just have her in costume like they did with Chris Hemsworth, right? Chris Hemsworth is a big dude. He can play that role. He looks like Thor. Jane Foster is never going to look like female Thor. She's not built for it. It just, in my opinion, it's just not going to happen. So they're going to have to do something, like I said, just like they did with Thanos, right? They take the face and they CGI it onto a body. The Hulk, obviously, with Mark Ruffalo, they're going to have to do something like that where it's predominantly CGI. If they do that, I think that movie has a chance. So there's a lot of people right now that are absolutely decrying the female Thor movie, saying it's going to be terrible. Oh, it's SJW trash. I'm not going to prejudge it that quickly. I think it could be good. I like Jason Aaron as a writer. I think he does a good job in general. I thought that series was okay. I don't think it was the best Thor story. And I'm not just of the opinion, Thor has to be a male. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that position. Some people have that, hey, Thor's a male, it can never be a female. I'm not that rigid in my thinking. I'm okay with, a female Thor. It's not anything that, to me, it's not revolting or anything like that. It's just if it's done well, and she really has, if they make her look like she could really beat the crap out of people, but if it's Natalie Portman in a costume, supposedly beating the crap out of people, swinging that hammer around, it's just not going to be nothing's believable. This is all make-believe anyways, but you've got to be somewhat in the belief fictionally that the character really can do what they're doing, right? You can't have it's just like with Superman and Batman. You can't have, that's the kind of the problem I always had with Michael Keaton, right? Michael Keaton, I thought, was a very good actor. He played a great Bruce Wayne. And they shot it so that he looked bigger than he was. Obviously, Michael Keaton is a small guy. He's 5'7", 170 pounds soaking wet. So, Batman is 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds. So it's gotta be somewhat believable that person's really being that, playing that character. So that's the only problem I have with this female Thor. Female-led properties have a hard time. They're always right behind the eight ball. Wonder Woman proved that it can be done if it's acted well. You've got the right person playing that character. A good story. I mean, a good story is all you need. So Jane Foster, I'm not willing to say this is going to be terrible. I want to see how it goes, and if they, basically make her look stronger and bigger. Not just have Natalie Portman in a costume. I think it has a chance, but I guess we won't know until the first trailer's dropped. Even then they may not even show you the big reveal. So, I'm not willing to say that this is going to be terrible yet, but I have my suspicions that it's not going to be great. But I like to see the books on the move. That book is definitely that. And I think it was Thor #8 is the first appearance of her turning into female Thor. That book probably should be on the move now. Let me see on eBay. I thought I looked at it the other day, and let's see. And you can buy. Okay, there's a buy it now for $25. All right. I picked that up about the same time last year, end of last year, beginning of this year. And there's one for $20, $15. All right, so this is the issue where basically Jane Foster becomes Thor. So that as the movie draws closer, this is probably going to be a book that rises in price. Don't be surprised if it gets to $40, $50. There is the New York Comic Con variant. I picked that up as well. And it's probably her first appearance. That's probably first cover appearance of female Thor, right? It's probably that issue right there. Thor number 8, the New York Comic Con. Well, I don't know. I guess, nah. This is, she's in the costume here as well, so yeah, take that back. The A cover is definitely better in my opinion. So yeah, that may be one you want to pick up. I think you'll see that move higher in price as you get closer to the release of the movie. But there's a lot of videos, a lot of people already coming out saying, oh, this is going to be terrible, it's going to be terrible. I'm not willing to prejudge it that quickly. I definitely think that they have an uphill battle. You know, they have to do things right to make it what it should be. And I think if they do some type of CGI with Natalie Portman and have her face represented in the character, but the body needs to be bigger. I mean, she needs to be an Amazon. I don't know. Maybe she'll get really fit, but the problem is she's tiny. I mean, she's small. She's not a tall woman. That's just going to be tough to pull off as a Thor, as a female Thor. So that's my only reservation about it. Yeah, so I think Doctor Strange and Blade would be the two movies I'm looking forward to the most. Probably Shang-Chi would be number 3. Black Widow would be probably either around the same as Shang-Chi. I think that could be good. Thor, I'll reserve my judgment until I see more come out, but it could be really good if it's done right, or it could be really bad. So it's probably going to be one or the other, right? I'm hoping it's good. I'd like to see the Thor property do well. Chris Hemsworth, I think, is done with the role. At least that's what it appears to be. You never know. I mean, down the road, he could come back as King Thor, right, in his older age, and they could do a storyline there and weave that into the Marvel Universe. So I'd love to see them do a Thanos, an older Thanos, the Donny Cates run, where Thanos becomes old and his younger self meets his older self, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. I mean, I would love to see them develop that property at some point, and I think they will, because I think that's going to be a very popular. Yeah, I think that could be a really popular movie if they develop it right. So that's kind of what I had. Some highlights from San Diego Comic-Con. You know, I didn't think it was the greatest. I mean, the release of the movies, like I said, it's not. I mean, we've kind of peaked here, I think, with Avengers Endgame. I don't know that they're going to have a blockbuster that big for quite some time. I think all these movies could do okay, just because you've got a pretty good fan base of people that will go see them. I think Doctor Strange will do the best out of all of them. Blade will be probably close. Shang-Chi might do surprisingly well. Black Widow will do well. I don't think Eternals will do well. And female Thor, I don't know. We'll see. It could be good or it could be bad. It's probably a toss-up. So that's what I had for San Diego Comic-Con. There's a lot of good comic books that came out. I have a couple coming to me on order, so I'll probably highlight that in a future video. I'll have another video out on Wednesday highlighting new comics that are coming out the following week, so look for that. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my videos, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I expect there'll be a lot of people commenting on this video, giving their opinion. I'd like to hear what you have to think on it. I don't know. My opinions, I'm sort of wishy-washy, I guess, in the middle. I haven't made any strong opinions other than I think Eternals might be poor. I just never liked the comic book. I thought the comic book was pretty badly done. But I'm not the biggest Kirby fan, if you hadn't noticed. All right, guys, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks.